South Poem, and welcome to this channel. The topics will be everything about spirituality and tarot and healing and anything in between. If you have any questions and any topics that you would like to know more, just comment them, and I'm sure I'm going to do any type of video that you're curious about. So today I first like to start to talk about me, because that is why you're here. And I'm South Poem. I am a healer. I am clairvoyant and clairsentient and a bunch of things that I can tell about more another day. I made this channel just for the topic of helping others through their spiritual journey and any questions that they would have that would come up. And I made this meditation that I hope that you have heard and hopefully liked. And if not, let me know of any topic that you would like to have in meditation. Currently, I'm just doing these out of fun, so don't need to take it all too seriously, and take it with a grain of salt if you want to. But if not, I know that you're here for a reason, because of synchronicity that I truly believe in, that we're all in the right time, in the right spot, the right place, with the right people, and this is just part of that. So my hopes are that you're going to enjoy everything that I have to offer. So let's start. So first of all, spirituality is very personal. It's a very personal topic for everyone. Everyone has their version of spirituality, and most people have it connected to religion. And sometimes it's cultural, with what type of family you grew up in, and aunts and uncles and everything in between. And for others, it's a way of being, a way of life. Being spiritual is being present, being there, and just living your best life the best way you can. A lot of people have this awakening process where they one day wake up and realize that this world that we live in has a lot of problems, and a lot of it is based on fear, which leads to hate, which leads to conflict, and a lot of things that I'm sure most of you know by now, that it never ends well. And we start to realize that to be in a world where there's so much hate, we need to be the ones that show love, and we need to be the ones that are there for other people. And we try to work on ourselves. And for me, that is the type of spirituality that I've come to love the most. I think I've had all types. I've had cultural spirituality from my culture, and I've also had the upbringing of religious upbringing, so Catholicism, and I had a lot of aunts and uncles, and they all have different religions, so it's a big mix. And eventually I had my big awakening, I think like a lot of people, in 2011, and I will go deeper in that about that in another video. As you can notice, English is not my main language, but I do my best. Anyhow, I really want to talk about just spirituality in a bigger sense and a bigger, broader spectrum. And for me, spirituality is just going with spirit. So it's not about how we look, it's about how we feel, it's about our essence, everything that is deep, deep down inside, that little voice or that feeling that sensation that you have in the pit of the stomach when you know that maybe this is not the right path for me, or maybe I shouldn't do this because my gut is telling me not to. That would be some typical things that would come up. So for me, really, I've had this long process of spirituality, and when I was a child, I didn't know how to cope because I had all these different cultures and I had all these different ideas and thought planted by my parents, by my school teachers, by my peers, basically everyone. But I always felt different, and I always felt that I had a bigger purpose in life. And I know that a lot of the kids my age, when I was, I don't know, 7, 8, they all were thinking about what they're gonna be when they grow up, and they always thought about their job title. I'm going to be a doctor, or I'm going to be an astronaut, but no one really talked about how they wanted to feel. They just thought that as long as they had this job, everything would be what they dreamt of, basically. And for me, I always had this feeling that I'm going to somehow, someday, help people. That was my main feeling. And I knew that I was going to do something bigger than I was at the time, bigger than me, and that I would help people in a bigger way, and a lot of people. I was convinced, and there wasn't anything that you could say to me like, no, that's not true, you don't have a bigger purpose in life, no, that is untrue. It wasn't an idea, it was this feeling, it was this knowing that yes, one day I'm going to help a lot of people. One day I will be that person that people will go to for help and for guidance and for anything that they need, basically. And the problem with that is our society, because in our society we like to take advantage of people that we see as weaker. So I'm pretty sure that people thought that my generosity or kindness would be something to exploit and take advantage of, and just heartbreaking in a way, because I've always had this amounts, I mean, I can't even explain it. I have so much love inside me, and I have so much love that I just want to send to everyone, basically. And it's just a way that I feel that I don't want anything back. I just want to give. That is my main purpose. I want to give, and I want to give to a lot of people, and I want to be there for a lot of people. And the thing is that it's hard to be there for a lot of people if you meet them one by one. So I was hoping that this would be a new way for me to help others, but in a broader spectrum and for more people. And maybe only 2 people will see this, and maybe one of them will be happy that I talk about this, and that would be really just enough, because I know that everything comes in the right time. And if I've tried to do this type of videos before, but I've had a lot of limiting beliefs because I had a lot of fears, like basically everyone else. And my fears were of being because I have this other job, and that in that job you're clinical and professional, and you also have a degree, and you have this how can I say it, it's more science-based, and the society where I live in is science-based, and we don't have that much spiritual belief. We're mostly atheists here, so, and somehow atheism usually equals that you don't believe, not even in your soul, not even in your deepest inside. You only believe in yourself, which usually ends up being believing in your mind, believing in your thoughts. And thoughts are manufactured by our brain a lot of the times because it's bored and it wants some kind of stimulation. And the society that we live in have phones and computers and video games and everything to keep busy, to do something that is fun. And it also fires off a lot of things in the brain, so the brain gets happy, and the brain wants to constantly be entertained. So there's a lot of things that are not working because it creates an imbalance. So my society is very imbalanced. My country is very imbalanced. And I notice that more and more hate is coming up to the surface, and I don't need to go far. Before it was, you could hear someone do this remark of, oh, this is untrue, or no, I don't believe this. But now every opinion that they have, they present it as a fact. And it's a fact that you can't change. So if you would try to have an like constructive argument with them, that would not work. They would just start being hateful. And I don't know if you have noticed that, but you don't need to go far. You can just look at any social media comment, any, basically. And it's sad because I believe that energy we could use for so much more and so much better things. We could use it for uplift each other and pat each other on the back and say, hey, good job, or interesting, I never saw it that way, thank you for telling me, I see it this way. But I think the energy has gone to expand too much, and that is a part of me, part of the gifts I've had, that I've received, and I can just see the world more objectively, and I can observe it in a way that I don't know how to, but I know. And it's just taking a step back and observing what's going on in front of me without giving it my energy, without me investing any energy in what's going on, basically. So that is just a little about spirituality, and like I said, I want to talk more about these subjects. I just don't know where to start. So I know a lot, and I don't know what others don't know. So it's hard to know where to start. And I am by no means an expert. I like to teach others, but I believe that as a teacher, you never really fully learn about everything. You just do like everyone else. You keep learning in life. You learn and you learn and you learn every day something new, and you take that to heart, basically. So yeah, thank you for sticking around, and tell me more, and tell me more about you, and tell me more about your spiritual journey and where you're at, and I will be there as much as I can. So thank you, and have a great day, and I'll see you soon.